She was never meant to be the one in charge. When Katharine Graham walked into the newsroom of the Washington Post, she was seen as the quiet wife of the real publisher, the woman who smiled politely and stayed in the background. Her husband Phil Graham ran the paper. He was brilliant, powerful and adored, but life had a way of testing those who never asked to lead. After years of standing beside him, Katharine faced something she never expected. Her husband took his own life, and in that shattering moment she stood in the wreckage of his world, holding the pieces of a company that was already trembling. People around her whispered that she could not handle it. They said she was too shy, too soft, too inexperienced, but deep inside her something began to rise, a quiet strength that had been waiting for its moment. In 1963, she took over the Washington Post. No training, no roadmap, just a will to survive. Her first days were filled with doubt and fear. She walked into rooms full of men who never thought a woman belonged there. They tried to out-talk her, outvote her, outthink her. She listened. Then came the moment that would define her legacy. The Pentagon Papers. The government tried to stop the Post from publishing documents that revealed the truth about the Vietnam War. Lawyers warned her that she could go to prison. Investors threatened to pull out. Her team was scared. The nation was watching. Katharine sat there in her office holding the decision in her hands. She was shaking but calm. She knew that truth mattered more than fear, so she said, "Go ahead, publish it." And with that one choice, she changed history. Not long after came the Watergate scandal. Her reporters began uncovering corruption at the highest level of power. Again, the pressure came, again the threats came, but Katharine stood her ground. She backed her journalists. She trusted their work. She faced presidents and powerful men who wanted her silent, but she refused, and because of that the world saw the truth. She became more than a publisher. She became a symbol of courage in the face of intimidation. She became proof that leadership has no gender and that strength is not loud. Sometimes it is steady, sometimes it is quiet and still, but it never breaks. She turned pain into purpose, fear into focus, and loss into legacy. When people talk about courage, they often picture soldiers or heroes, but real courage can look like a woman standing alone in a room full of doubt, choosing truth over comfort, choosing integrity over approval. Katharine Graham did that, and in doing so she reminded the world that power is not given, it is earned. And sometimes the bravest thing a person can do is simply to keep going when everyone says you cannot. Her story is not about newspapers, it is about believing in yourself when the world does not, and standing for something even when it costs you everything. That is what made Katharine Graham not just a publisher but a legend forever.